You have been chosen. And today, precisely today, something has shifted in the hidden agenda that governs your financial life. It's no coincidence that you are watching this video right now, at this exact moment, with this title flashing on your screen as if it were speaking directly to your soul. It's not chance, it's not the algorithm, it's a calling. Because what I am about to reveal to you in the coming minutes is not ordinary content. It's not empty motivation. It's not shallow self-help rhetoric. It is a spiritual alert, an urgent warning that God's plan for your prosperity, the one that has lain dormant within you since before your birth, has just been activated in the hidden agenda. If you feel, even without being able to put it into words, that something has stirred within your chest in recent weeks, that a restlessness has begun to grow for no apparent reason, that old dreams have started visiting you again in the dead of night, that you wake up thinking about money, about achievements, about legacy, about building something great that will transcend generations, know this once and for all. This is not psychological. This is not anxiety. This is not you losing your mind. This is the unmistakable sign that the financial portal has opened for you. God is calling you to step out of the scarcity queue, and the chosen ones who heed this call today will be the spiritual billionaires of tomorrow. There is a truth that the system doesn't want you to discover. There is a game being played behind the scenes of your financial life that involves much more than money, hard work, or luck. A game played out in invisible layers where most of humanity is born, lives, and dies without ever realizing they are pawns on a much larger board. And the chosen ones are precisely those who, at some point in their lives, begin to feel they don't belong to that scarcity mindset. You've felt this way, haven't you? As if you were out of place within your own financial destiny. As if you watched people around you easily making money, prospering, expanding, while you, even exerting twice the effort, praying thrice as hard, remained strangely stuck, as if an invisible fence were preventing abundance from reaching your account. And it is precisely there, at this point of strangeness with your own financial life, that most of humanity gets stuck forever, trapped in a superficial layer, thinking the solution will come from a course, a new job, a promotion that never arrives. But you are different. You know deep in your soul that there is something deeper behind this scarcity, something no finance book will ever be able to explain. Because the battle for your prosperity is merely the visible layer of a much larger game, where entities, spiritual inheritances, ancient seals, and decisions made behind the scenes invisibly determine who receives abundance and who remains bound to misery. And you, chosen one, are the central piece on this divine chessboard. This is why I have prepared the powerful ebook for you, God's Chosen Family Protection Guide. This ebook is not just reading material, it is a map that reveals exactly who is playing against your financial life in the unseen dimensions. What are the spiritual laws of money that they never told you about in any church, in any course, in any book, and why entire generations of your lineage may be charging a spiritual price that has blocked your abundance until this very day. It reveals inherited seals, silent rituals performed by ancestors, hidden loopholes that allow opposing forces to sabotage every cent that tries to reach you. And it teaches, step by step, how the chosen one breaks each of these blockages in God's name to reclaim the financial empire that was destined for them before the first breath of life. This ebook was created for those who have already awakened enough to understand that poverty is not a lack of effort, it is a lack of spiritual knowledge. The link is in the first comment, pinned right at the top of the comments. But I need to tell you with an open heart, this kind of content rarely remains available for long. What's in these pages directly challenges the financial narratives many are interested in keeping intact. Those narratives that say money is for a few, that you were born to serve, that prosperity is pride, that the rich don't go to heaven. There have already been concrete attempts to silence this knowledge, to take it down, to make it disappear from the world. So don't wait for the right moment. The right moment is now, chosen one, because you didn't arrive at this video by accident. Download now and comment strongly below this video. I am the chosen one, and I will download the ebook. Let your act of faith be registered in the spiritual realm, because all transformation begins with a decision declared out loud. Now that you've decided to act, The next truth I'll tell you will be the final blow against the financial oppression that has held your life captive until now. Pay attention now, because what I'm about to tell you only makes sense to the chosen ones. There are 3 unmistakable spiritual marks in the financial life of those chosen to prosper. The first mark is restlessness with little. You can never be content with just surviving, because your soul knows it came to occupy greater spaces. The second mark is disproportionate attack. You notice that every time you get close to a financial turning point, everything collapses in an exaggerated way, as if there were an organized effort to bring you down before you get there. It's not a coincidence when the bill you weren't expecting arrives the week you were going to invest. It's not bad luck when the client disappears the day you were supposed to close the most important contract of the month. It's a game. Chosen one, these marks are not coincidences. They are God's invisible signature on your financial life. And each one of them is detailed in the e-book God's Chosen Family Protection Guide, with names, signs, and specific prayers for you to activate each one within your spirit. Because what nobody tells you is that envy in the workplace, the unexpected bill, the disappearing client, the business that fails at the last minute, none of this is random. It's a spiritual game. And the e-book shows exactly who is playing against your financial life, and how you remove these pieces from the board in Jesus' name to reclaim the inheritance of wealth that has already been signed with your name in heaven. The link remains pinned at the top of the comments, chosen one, but time is running out. Every time a soul downloads this content, the hidden agenda moves against it. We've already lost the material offline more than once because it goes against too many vested interests. So if you are feeling right now at this exact second a tingling sensation, a tightness in your chest, a thought coming out of nowhere saying, "Don't do this, leave it for later," recognize it. That is the voice of blockage trying to stop you. Conquer that voice. Download now and comment, "I'm the chosen one and I will download the e-book." And now that it's starting to sink in, prepare your heart, because the next revelation will show how much time you've already lost living far below God's plan for your wallet. And the third mark, the most important of all, is the recurring dream of abundance. You dream of big houses, overflowing waters, bountiful harvests, people handing you envelopes, money falling from the sky, doors opening, titles, properties, names written on official papers. These dreams are not repressed everyday desires. They are direct messages from the spiritual realm saying that there is a financial inheritance reserved for you since before you were born, and its release is coming. You need to understand one thing. Every chosen one has a specific treasure marked with their name in the hidden agenda. It's as if there were a vault with your spiritual plate, kept in heaven, waiting for you to awaken and claim it. And the reason most chosen ones die without touching this treasure is simple. They never learned the right words, the right movements, the right postures to access it. Now I will reveal something that will shake you. We are living in the time of the great wealth transfer. It is written, it is prophesied, it is not theory, it is not motivation, it is ancestral word. The wealth that is today in the hands of those who serve corruption, injustice, and exploitation systems has begun to be reallocated. God is moving invisible mountains to transfer these assets to the hands of the righteous, the faithful, the chosen ones. And the criterion for this transfer is not luck, not a lottery, not divine chance. The criterion is awakening. Whoever awakens first, whoever positions themselves first, whoever first breaks the spiritual blocks of their own lineage, receives first. And while millions continue to sleep, thinking their lives are just this, you are here, listening to this message, being awakened. This is not a coincidence. And pay attention to this detail that will touch you deeply. Most of the billionaires humanity knows today built empires without even realizing they were operating powerful spiritual laws. They didn't know. They were just applying principles that fell into their hands by inheritance, by chance, by instinct. Imagine now the power you will have, knowing these laws consciously, applying them with faith, with intention, with the authority of a child of God. You will build with more consciousness than anyone who has ever built before, because your fortune is not just for you. It comes loaded with purpose. You were called to free your family from financial slavery, to fund missions, to finance the kingdom, to prove to the world that money in the hands of a chosen one of God is a tool for blessing, not perdition. Chosen one, this is where most people get stuck. Do you know why? Because these laws were not taught in schools, not preached in pulpits, not published in newsstand books. They are reserved knowledge. And it is precisely this knowledge that is compiled, organized, and revealed within the ebook God's Chosen Family Protection Guide. It is not a finance book. It is not a motivation book. It is the map of spiritual wealth. It reveals the 7 laws of the billionaire chosen one, teaches the specific prayer to unlock the spiritual vault reserved for your name, shows how to recognize the lineage gaps that have been blocking money in your family for generations, and provides the step-by-step guide for you to officially join the queue for the great wealth transfer that is happening right now in the hidden agenda. This ebook was created for those who have awakened enough to understand that survival is an offense to God's plan. If you've made it this far in the video, you are that person. The link is pinned at the top of the comments. But I tell you with all the seriousness in my heart, they have already tried to take this material down. Forces have come against its publication more than once. We don't know how much longer it will remain available. Don't risk missing this opportunity because of a "I'll do it later." Later doesn't exist in the vocabulary of the chosen one. The time is now. Download now and comment here. I am the chosen one, and I will download the ebook. Make this act of faith public, because what is declared on earth reverberates in heaven. And now that you have positioned yourself, prepare yourself, because the next revelations will show you why this is the turning point year for the chosen ones and what exactly you need to do in the next 40 days to not miss the divine timing. Chosen one, now that you have 1 foot out of the scarcity line, I need to tell you about a specific window of time that has opened in the hidden agenda. There is a divine synchronicity happening now, and you need to understand this synchronicity to not miss the timing. In the next 40 days, a wave of financial blessings will pass through the lives of those who have positioned themselves correctly. 40 is a biblical number. 40 days of rain in Noah's Ark. 40 years in the desert. 40 days of Jesus' fast. And now 40 days for the practical activation of the chosen one's wealth plan. You are within this cycle. Every day that you let pass without positioning yourself, a piece moves without you on the board. And the pieces that move without you end up being moved against you. Pay attention now, because this is important. Many chosen ones wait for the perfect moment to act. They wait for total peace. They wait for total security. They wait for total certainty. But I need to warn you, in God's plan, certainty comes after faith, not before. If you wait to have certainty before taking the step, you will never take the step, because the enemy makes sure to plant doubt right before the most important step of your life. He doesn't want you to be a billionaire. He doesn't want you to be free. He doesn't want you to break the financial curse that has haunted your family for 3, 4, 5 generations. He wants you tied to the same chain that tied your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather. And he uses the logic of the world, the reason of the flesh, the voice of fear to convince you that now is not the time. Don't fall for this scam. The time is now. The time has always been now. I've already seen hundreds of cases of people who were in exactly your situation. In debt, tired, seeing no way out, working hard and earning little, watching others grow and feeling that God had forgotten them. And when these people finally understood the spiritual game and positioned themselves, the turnaround came so quickly that they themselves were speechless. It's not magic, it's not luck. It's spiritual law being activated correctly. One person told me that in 3 weeks, she paid off a debt that had been dragging on for 8 years. Another told me she received a business proposal that tripled her income in a month. Another told me that, after breaking a generational curse of poverty from her maternal lineage, her mother also began to prosper without even understanding why. Do you understand the power of this? When you awaken, you don't awaken alone. You open portals for your entire family. And here is a truth that will hurt some people, but I need to tell you because I am responsible for the message I deliver. Most of the people watching this video today will do nothing. They will listen. They will be moved. They will even get goosebumps. And then they will close the screen and continue their lives in the same scarcity. And in 6 months, they will be back on YouTube looking for the next motivational video, the next pastor who promises miracles, the next channel that talks about awakening. They remain eternally in the cycle of searching without ever entering the cycle of action. Don't be that person. Don't fall into this pattern. You have the chance now, at this very moment, to leave the group of those who only listen and join the group of those who act. And action begins with a small decision, a symbolic decision, but spiritually enormous. God doesn't choose those who are ready. God chooses those who make themselves available. And when you make yourself available, everything around you begins to reorganize to take you to your destination. Doors that have been closed for years open. People who disappeared return with proposals. Ideas that seemed forgotten resurface with strength. Money that was stuck starts to appear in unexpected forms. You begin to attract opportunities like a magnet attracts metal, not because you changed on the outside, but because your spiritual frequency has changed on the inside. And the material world always adjusts to the dominant spiritual frequency of the chosen one. There is a passage that says, "The righteous inherits the wealth of the wicked." Have you ever stopped to think about the weight of that word? It doesn't say the righteous works to get wealth. It says they inherit. Inheritance is something that already belongs to you, you just need to claim it. And the claim begins in the spirit, not in the wallet. When you understand that the wealth you seek is already reserved in your name in the hidden agenda, you stop running after money and start attracting money. It's a different dynamic, it's a different frequency, it's a different reality. And it is this dynamic that the ebook God's Chosen Family Protection Guide teaches in practical detail, with specific prayers, with prophetic declarations, with clear steps that any chosen one can apply from the first day. Chosen one, have you ever noticed how some people seem to live in a tunnel of grace? Everything works out for them. A job is born, a marriage is born, a house is born, a car is born, a healthy child is born, prosperity is born, while others live in a tunnel of obstacles. Everything goes wrong. And it's not because one is better than the other. It's because one is aligned with the invisible laws and the other doesn't even know these laws exist. The big difference between a spiritual billionaire and an eternal pauper is not luck, not family, not a degree. It's consciousness. It's knowing what no one told you. It's operating on the truth that only the chosen ones access when they decide to awaken. And pay attention to this sacred point. You were not called for individual prosperity. You were called to be a source of sustenance for your family, a source of blessing for friends, a source of resources for just causes, a source of hope for people who will look at you and say, if he could do it, so can I. God's plan for you is too big to fit into a mediocre life, and that is precisely why the enemy works so hard to keep you small. Every dollar he manages to prevent from reaching you is a dollar he prevented from blessing dozens of other lives. Do you understand now why the attack is so heavy? Because your liberation is not just yours. It liberates an entire chain. And if you are feeling a cry welling up now, an emotion rising in your chest, a shiver running down your spine, know that this is the Spirit confirming within you. It is your soul recognizing the message. It is God telling you, without words, that you have arrived where you needed to arrive. Do not ignore this feeling. It is the spiritual seal of confirmation. Many people go through their entire lives without feeling this seal. You are feeling it now. This means something. This means you have been set apart. You have been separated from the crowd. You are one of the few whom God is raising up in this specific time to occupy vacant positions in the financial kingdom. Now I need to ask you a serious question, and I want you to answer with honesty within your heart. How many times in your life have you felt that you were on the verge of a turnaround, and for some reason it didn't happen? How many times have you approached a great blessing and at the last moment everything crumbled? How many times have you prayed, fasted, asked with faith, and still saw the door close? It wasn't God ignoring you. It was an unbroken spiritual blockage. It was an old seal still active. It was a piece on the board that hadn't been moved yet. And as long as these pieces are not removed with the right knowledge, with the right authority, with the right spiritual strategy, the blessing may even reach your doorstep and turn away without entering. Terrible to think about, but it is the reality for millions. Do not be just another one. Do not go through this life without touching what God has prepared for you. God's plan for the chosen one is overflowing abundance. Psalm 23 is not poetry, it is spiritual protocol. My cup overflows. An overflowing cup is plenty that exceeds storage capacity. It is blessing that is left over. It is provision that exceeds. It is wealth that needs to be distributed because it cannot fit within you alone. This is the destiny of the chosen one. And if you are not living like this yet, it is not because God didn't want to. It is because your cup has been stoppered from within by invisible ties, and no one taught you how to unstopper it. Chosen one, this is the last chance in this video for you to decide. There are only two paths from here on. The first path is for you to close this screen, go back to your life, continue within the same cycle, waiting for something to happen without you needing to take a stand. This is the path of the majority, and the majority remains where it has always been. The second path is for you to act. And action, at this specific moment, has a very clear form. Get the ebook God's Chosen Family Protection Guide, dive into what it reveals about the invisible financial game, apply the prayers and declarations it teaches, and officially join the ranks of the chosen ones who are being raised by God in this time to receive the great transfer of wealth that has already begun. This ebook is the map that no one has given you until today. It shows the names of the ties that lock your account. It shows the lineage gaps that open doors for the enemy to tamper with your money. It shows how to cut off inheritances of misery that came from great-grandparents you never even knew, but whose poverty still weighs on your surname. It shows the 7 laws of the billionaire chosen one. It shows how to recognize the physical and spiritual signs that the transfer of wealth is coming your way. It shows the specific prayers that open the spiritual vault reserved in your name. It shows how to protect your family from the attacks that will come against your newly activated prosperity. Because when big money arrives, the enemy tries to use it against you. And it shows all of this in simple, direct, practical language made for the common chosen one to apply from the first day after receiving it, without needing to be a theologian, without needing to be rich, without needing formal education. The link is pinned in the first comment, at the top of the comments of this video. But I'll repeat it because this is serious. This material has already faced attempts to be taken down. Its narratives go against great interests too much. They go against the discourse that poor people have to accept poverty. They go against the discourse that money is dirty. They go against the discourse that rich people don't enter heaven. They've already taken it down before. We don't know how long it will remain available this time. If you leave it for later, you might come back and it won't be there anymore. And then you will have lost, due to a 5-minute hesitation, a key that could have changed the rest of your financial life and the life of your entire family, your children, your grandchildren, the next generations who will be born with your surname. Download now, chosen one, and even before downloading, leave your act of faith registered below this video. Comment in all caps, "I am the chosen one," and I will download the ebook. Don't leave it for later. Don't think twice. Don't listen to the voice of blockage saying tomorrow. Tomorrow is the biggest lie the enemy uses against the chosen ones. Tomorrow never comes for those who don't act today. You didn't arrive at this video by accident. You didn't hear this message by chance. You were brought here on purpose at the exact timing of God's plan, because today, this day, this date, this instant is the mark of the activation of your eternal prosperity. From zero to billionaire is not a video slogan, it's a prophecy, and it begins to be fulfilled the second you make the decision that most people don't make. Download now, comment now, act now, because the kingdom belongs to those who act, and wealth belongs to those who position themselves. God bless you, chosen one. The plan has been activated. Now it's your turn to answer the call.